Let's go to Chicago with that introduction here and talk to Oliver Sloup from II Trader live from Chicago. Wow, impressive numbers for the corn and ethanol industry this morning, Oliver.
Yeah, very impressive, and that really got us to a good start here in the early morning session. The corn market has looked great to start the year, obviously very green into 2017, but very optimistic start. We are coming up against some key technical levels. We're looking at 363 to 365. That's kind of been the top end of the range going all the way back to November. So we do have some people taking some risk off the table up at the top end of the range, but looking if we do break out to maybe put that back on. Now, the support side doesn't come in until about 350, so that's kind of the range we're playing until we can either get that breakout or breakdown. Obviously, right now, it looks more optimistic for the breakout. Yeah,
looking at, and so first things first, I guess, a close. How would you feel about a close over 360 here today?
360 would be great, but the bulls really want to see it close above 365. That's been kind of the recent highs, and if we're able to close above that, I think you encourage some additional short covering, and as well as invite new buyers who are maybe trying to jump on a new trend.
Right now, 362, those viewers and listeners, that's up 2.5. Soybean trade, a little different story. 24 hours later, we were up, say, 17, 18, 19 cents at this time yesterday. Just a bit lower, though, now. Only 2 cents, 2.5 cents lower. What do you make of the bean performance today?
The soybean chart isn't nearly as constructive as the corn is. We have trendline resistance coming in at about 10.18 3/4. That's from the December 6th highs. And since December 6th, we've managed to make lower highs and lower lows. And we're expecting that to be the trend until we get a breakout. And if we do continue lower, I think we take out that $10 mark that we were hovering around recently and head towards that 9.83 3/4 level. If we're able to get down there, I think that's going to present some good value. Obviously, South America is kind of the wild card in this market for now.
Sure, yeah. Now, wheat separating a little bit more itself from corn. Wheat stronger all day with the dry weather and the stress on the crop in the plains. Ukraine as well. Any quick thoughts on the wheat trade for viewers and listeners?
Wheat looks good. We got above the 100-day moving average for the first time since June 22nd, so that is technically significant to us. Just above where we're trading now, 430 is the top end of the range. I think we'll probably run out of a little steam and at least have a little bit of a pullback, but as it stands to start the year, it looks just as constructive as the corn chart.
Again, 9 cents higher in Kansas City and over the 435 level here now, and that's the high of the day, 435.5. And Minneapolis, the March contract, up a nickel at just short of $5.50 a bushel. We'll take a break here, Oliver, and be back talk about the livestock trade. Oliver Sloup live from Chicago coming up. And welcome back as we hit the top of the hour in 10 minutes. That means time for your livestock update. Let's go back to Chicago. Live from the CME Group, and the floor is Oliver Sloup from II Trader. Your thoughts in this beef complex as we start this new year and now 3 days, trading days into the new year?
Well, we ended 2016 on a really positive note in both the live cattle and feeder cattle, but it looks like we're starting to run out of a little bit steam. We have traded both sides of unchanged here today. I want to start looking at that live cattle contract. We've come up against major resistance towards 118 a few times in the past week or so, and that goes all the way back to resistance in May and June as well. So we're kind of up here where I think we're not quite able to get out above, and so you are seeing some hedgers take advantage of the higher prices and maybe look for a little bit of a pullback here. 114.5 is going to be trendline support that comes in all the way from the October 13th lows, and that has held perfectly to start the year. We'll see if that can hold going forward to round out the week.
Now, a question here a lot of producers might have. February at 115, this is say around 115, but the cash is already trading 117 to 118 now, 2 weeks in a row. They've got to come together the next 30 days.
Yeah, I would definitely suspect that they do kind of converge within each other. It's going to be interesting to keep a close eye on that cash market. As you and I know that changes very rapidly. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on for those news wires, that cash market.
Very good. I'll have numbers, by the way, viewers and listeners, one last time. I want to get Oliver's comments on the pork trade here as we begin the new year there. Right now, we're a little bit higher, over 65.5 at the high on February. Now, not holding that. Is there a number you're watching in those Feb hogs?
66.5 is the line in the sand that we've drawn out. The volatility's been really high, and I don't want to see us just trade at a 66.5 or above. I want to see it close above. If we're able to do that, I think really there's more room towards the 70.25 level, which is the highs going back a couple months ago, or maybe it was more towards the mid-year mark. But 66.5 is going to be the big line in the sand to close above. If we don't do that, we're looking at support coming about 63. That's the 20-day moving average. 20-day moving average has been holding nicely, so hopefully that continues and gets the bulls off to a good start in 17.
Now, conversely, for hogs, you see the futures there way above where the cash is currently trading.
Right, and again, you're going to see a lot of volatility in this market, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the futures price drop a little bit, but you know, this market can remain irrational longer than people can remain solvent, so you kind of got to keep a very close eye on both the cash and the futures here to start the year.
Very good. I love that. Oliver Sloup, I can always count on that, and we will look forward to having you back tonight in our Real Evening News, wrapping things up and heading to the end of the week, so we'll see you tonight.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
We are too. Oliver Sloup live from Chicago.